Welcome to the Figure Zone. Today we have the Lady Death 1/6 scale Death's Warrior Phicen TBLeague figure. This is the second version here. Before we get into that, please subscribe if you'd like to see more awesome 1/6 scale videos, some custom figures, and some third-party figures you may not know even existed. So what we have is an awesome freaking figure. This is the second version. The first version was just mostly her with the traditional like Lady Death style bikini thing going on. Here's some pictures on the back here. It's very nice. This is the actual figure. So from right here, this is an improvement over that version. I missed out on that version, unfortunately, so I got this one because I was always a huge Lady Death fan and wanted to check this out. This is the standard version. There's one with the deluxe version. It came just like this, but then there was an extra box with like a chair on like a throne. So I didn't get that at the time. I was kind of like, oh, I don't really want to spend that much money. Kind of bummed because I kind of wish I did, but I don't usually have spaces to display big stands like that. So here's the figure in all of its plastic awesomeness. Let's check out what she's got. Here are all the accessories that this Lady Death comes with. Again, this is just the basic version. The other one had a chair and like on top of a throne, which looked pretty awesome, but I passed on it like a fool. So this is the Death Warriors version. So we got here is her gigantic scythe. This thing is freaking 13 inches long. It's freaking ginormous. It's all plastic. It looks like metal up here. They did a good job of like some wear and tear of like basic metal. It's got some pitting going on there. It looks pretty cool. So great attention to the detail. You got this sweet skull up here, and it, like part of it wraps around over here around this part. Looks like leather wraps, but it's just all one molded piece. Got the handle over here. It even looks like wood. They did a great job on this. Over here we have her cape. Gotta have her with her cape. Now there's no clasp on this one, so this just pops over the neck. But look at the size of that neck hole opening there. I'm gonna have to heat this thing up a little bit to try to make it a little bit more malleable. It's like kind of harder, plastic-ish, not too hard, but enough where if you try to squeeze this thing on, you might destroy your figure. The inside, you got the red lining, and this is cool too because it feels like there's wires from right about here down and all the way around the bottom too. It's got some wires in there too, so wired capes, fracking awesome. On the body right now, she has some like clasp fists going on where you can hold some stuff, like hold the sword. But she also comes with a couple extra hands here. These are sweet looking, kind of claw hands. It's got the cool red nail polish going on. That looks pretty sweet. And over here we got more openish hands, expressive hands kind of deal here. Again, these look pretty awesome. Very nice. We have her armored helmet piece here. I've never put this on her yet, so I'm very curious how this is going to work. So, looks awesome. You've got the gold going on. It's all just plastic. Great detail again, but this is a figure, so putting these little things over top of a figure's head, I never like doing that. Especially this. This is very closed off and kind of sharp right there, too. So I'm very hesitant about putting this on. We're going to try it nice and slowly, see how it works. Maybe I'll heat it up a little bit. Like some of the Hot Toys figures used to come with helmets where it was like two pieces. You clamp them together like the Loki figure did. And like the Thanos that's out now, the helmet is just perfect, but at the same time, it always feels weird putting those things on. Here is her sword. This sword was forged by Hell's blacksmith Cremator, who had his own comic for a while there too. You got some sweet blood on there. The sword's name is Darkness. Now I know what you're thinking, for all you Chappelle fans out there. Darkness, this is not Charlie Murphy, this is the sword. But check that out, you got blood everywhere. It looks really cool. This is die cast. This is cold to the touch. This is die cast. This over here feels like plastic, but the actual sword itself, total die cast. That looks freaking sweet. And there's my fingerprints. And even got the handle right there. It's got the skull on both sides. But yeah, that blood, that just looks freaking awesome. Nice and pointy too, so if you point too much and hit yourself in the hand, you'll get some extra realistic blood going on there. When you get your figure out of the container, this is what it looks like. It's got plastic wrap frickin' everywhere. I don't think they do this anymore with the figures, but they definitely did it here. So this is going to be interesting to get off because it's just little tiny plastic fracking everywhere. And it's a little crazy. I guess they wanted to preserve the figure, of course, but at the same time, this does not look easy. Apparently these move too a little bit. These slide down. And of course, they wanted to prevent like any kind of paint, you know, bleedage going on or any kind of rubbing going on from the legs, but this is a little freaking overkill, and I'm not even sure how to even get this off. I do not want to take this boot off, nor do I want to remove all this, so I'm going to have to go off camera really quick and cut this and try to keep it perfect. And here is Lady Death. Once you get her free from the plastic wraps, which were wrapped around everything, there's wrap going on underneath the bikini tops. Under the bikini bottom, you had to pretty much pull the wrap through, very carefully cut little pieces of the wrap to get it on there, to get it all off. But you had to. I understand why they did it. This is a very, very glowing white body. And I'm assuming that may interact with the foam in there. I'm not sure. So when I put her back in, I'm going to probably saran wrap her in there. So that head sculpt, that is awesome. That looks just like her. You got the red lipstick. You got the glowing eyes. The hair looks awesome. It's not too crazy frizzy. It feels very thick, which is awesome. You got the top bikini piece over here. It does move. It does come off. There's like an actual like real strap in the back that's almost like exactly like a bra strap kind of deal. So this can come off just in case you want to put like the original outfit on, or if you find it on eBay or something like that. Again, plastic. Great detail. Got the skull in the center. Come down to the side of the van braces. You got all kinds of golds and copper colors going on. Hard plastic again also. These just slide on and off. Same with the other side over here too. Same design. And when you come to the belt area, it's like a double belt going on. And you got the skull right there too. And you see this wraps all the way around. The bikini part wraps all the way around to the back, which we'll get to that in one sec. That goes around the back. And it goes all the way around. So you can see that too. And again, this is this squishy body. Everything on her body is squishy. And she's got some musculature carved into the body too, which is really cool. I mean, you can see biceps and triceps in there too, and even the legs too. Now coming down to the legs, as you can see, these pieces are removable. They came off when I tried to pull the boot down a little bit to get the plastic off. You can pretty much take them, use them if not. They look cool either on or off. It's entirely up to you. They kind of slide around, so you got to get them up there just right. The boots are all like a one piece. It feels like real leather. I'm not totally sure, but it may be real leather. And it feels like the feet they come off this body. Some of these seamless bodies have feet that are attached, but this one feels like it has the body with the feet that can come off. And you go around the back, you got the seam, down the boots. It looks pretty cool with these in the back too. You can see some plastic sticking around there. I kept the plastic underneath the boots as much as possible. And the bottom of the boot, a little bit rough, which is cool. And then you got the pointy heels going on there. But yeah, what an awesome figure. This is just amazing. If you're into Lady Death, you definitely want to get this figure. This is really freaking cool. So I'm going to put her on a turntable and see what she can do. I don't want to push her too much, again, because these are seamless bodies. If you bend these things too much, they tend to crack sometimes in the elbows, crack in the knees. Luckily, you can't see the knees on this one, but you can see the elbows a little bit, but I don't want to damage the figure. You don't want to damage your figure either, so take it slow. This Lady Death 1/6 scale Phicen TBLeague figure is frackin' awesome. She was created years ago by Brian Pulido with Chaos Comics. Eventually, I believe it turned into Avatar, and now Lady Death is in Coffin Comics, where she is currently with Pulido again, and the comics are pretty freaking awesome. If you ever checked any of those out, check them out. The covers are amazing. They've got tons of different artists working on all the covers. Some of your favorites are out there. And this figure is, again, fracking awesome. I love how the seamless body looks. It has that white with the slight tint of like bluish going on, like slight, especially with the hair. Some of the cons about this is the sword is awesome because it's die-cast, but it's heavy. So when you put it inside the hand, it tends to move around a little bit because the hand is connected to the body, of course, with the peg, but the peg is metal and the hand is rubber. So sometimes when you put those things in there and you put weight on them, they tend to like just kind of swivel around a little bit, so the hand doesn't quite hold the sword 100% perfect the way I'd like it to. It still does, but certain positions the sword will fall. I tried putting the helmet on. It's just not going to happen. I don't want to force the helmet on this thing. It's pretty much taking a piece of plastic and smashing it into the body's head. You know, I don't want to do that. It's going to scratch up the figure's head. Not even going to risk it. The hair is so thick. It's like, how are you supposed to get that helmet on? I'm sure people have done it. Once you get it on, you got to leave it on. I'm not doing it. So, that's cool. I don't need the helmet. I think she looks better anyway. The cape, I heated up the top piece with the skull on it. Popped it on. It went on perfect. The wires are okay. They're not like super strong wires in the back there. But the wires hold up, you know. They'll do the trick. Getting the plastic up the body took about like 20 minutes of me cutting and pulling the thing off. It was kind of a freaking pain in the butt. And I understand why they did it. They don't want any kind of, paint rub going on. They don't want the actual bikini parts touching the body and causing any kind of rub and scratching anything possibly, because the body is, I guess because of the white color, it can leave any kind of marks and it won't look cool. So I boxed her back up and put as much stuff back on there as possible. No way I'm opening up that bikini piece to get that in there, but the top piece, everything slid right in. So it is a pain. Just take your time. Be careful of cutting stuff because you don't want to hit the body by accident. Besides that, the hands were a little bit tough to get into because of the van braces on her arms. They do slide, but only to a point. And when you're trying to put the hand in, they kind of tap the van brace, so it's a little bit hard to get in sometimes. You just kind of get it until you feel it go pop, and then you're good to go. And here she is with the 50th anniversary Vampirella figure. She looks awesome with her. I love this Vampirella figure too. I have a video review if you want to check that out in the links below also. And there's also a link below for the whole Phicen videos that I have up so far. But yeah, she looks awesome with these guys. You can put her with Purgatori, you can put her with Dawn. Any one of the Phicen figures, she looks great with the fantasy figures. So yeah, if you're a Lady Death fan, Coffin comics, Chaos comics, you like the Avatar stuff back in the day, definitely pick this figure up if you can find her, because she's pretty cool. This is the second version, and this is just the basic version. So if you can find her, grab her if you like her. Here's a bonus bird's eye view. If anybody stuck around to the end here, you get some extras. This is how these figures look from different angles, because every angle these guys look, they're fracking amazing. And the bodies just look crazy on these things. They're definitely worth the price. And if you can get them, grab all you can, because these things are amazing. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. The subscribes help big time. And again, leave some comments below if you got any questions on these things, or if you'd like any help with these kind of deals here with these figures. And again, what I always say, it's not a doll, it's an action figure.